Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Avery and today I'm going to be talking about all of the ebooks that I downloaded in June. If you are new to my channel or my series of ebook hauls as a whole, basically I spend a lot of my free time going on Amazon and just searching in the search bar free Kindle books, free Kindle romance books, that kind of thing. And I just click a book that sparks any of my interest at all. I don't remember the summary at all, so that's why I'm going to be reading from my laptop here. So I'm just going to be reading summaries for y'all about all of these books that I downloaded, which in total is 18. So I want to get started now because I don't want this video to be too long because there are 18 books that I have to talk about. Also, I am going to be starting a new thing on my ebook haul videos. I will not be giving commentary about what I think about the books. I'm just going to go from summary to summary to summary to summary because I don't think it's necessary for me to talk about how I feel about these books. Like, I'm just going to be listing out free books for you guys, so. The first book that I'm going to talk about today is Frostburn by Erica Stevens. This is the first in a series, is still currently free on Amazon, and is 286 pages. After years of running, Quinn has finally found a town to settle down in while she searches for the man who tore her life apart. Beside her every intention not to, she started to put down some roots and make friends. However, the small bit of solace she's found is quickly shattered when a group of vampires walks into the bar where she works and turns her life upside down. Looking only to stop for a few nights and have a good time, Julian never expected to stumble across someone like Quinn. Determined to keep her free from the vampires looking to use her as a weapon, Julian is stunned to discover himself starting to care for the mysterious woman with the dark past she's unwilling to reveal. It doesn't seem to take him long to realize that the vampires after her are only a part of the problem. This quiet little town is hiding a violent secret of its own, a secret that not only threatens the town but Quinn in particular. The next book that I downloaded was Caught Up in Us by Lauren Blakely. This is the first in a series and is unfortunately not free anymore, but it is $3.99 if you're interested on Kindle, and it is 254 pages. 5 years ago, Kat Harper fell into a dizzying summer romance with her brother's best friend Brian. It was a mad, crazy love full of kisses all throughout the night, but he broke her heart and she had to move on. 5 years later, Kat is finishing her graduate degree and building her business as a jewelry designer when Brian, head of his own successful company, walks back into her life. Brian has been assigned to Kat as her new business mentor, and the rules are clear. No hanky-panky permitted. Kat can handle that because she's totally over him, right? Except he still makes her laugh and he remembers all the things she likes. Not to mention that he's even more handsome now than he was then. Then there's a spark between them, the simply undeniable chemistry and the tender ways he shows he still cares for her. Can they still resist each other the second time around, or will first love trump all? The third book that I downloaded in June was Deep Down by Brenda Rothert. This is the first in a series, is still free on Amazon, and is 260 pages. I'm falling. Faster, further, deeper. Sometimes you fall so hard you can't get back up. My closest companions are now shame and loss, but a sliver of hope lies in the only person I have left in this world, the one who's growing inside me. Survival becomes living again because of my child, and the town where I begin anew. That's where I meet the man who starts to melt the ice inside my heart. As we get closer, reminders of my past become sharper, clearer. To confront the past, I have to discover what's deep down inside me. Is there enough left there to become whole again, or am I too wounded to heal? The next book that I downloaded was Her Secret Prince by Madeline Ash, which is still currently free on Amazon, is the second book and I think a companion series, and is 162 pages. At 16, Dee Johnson gambled her heart on her best friend Jed Brown and lost when he disappeared without a trace. 10 years on, Dee's life is uprooted when Jed turns up on her doorstep asking for her help. Dee has been left behind by everyone she's loved, her parents, her close friend Alexa, and a stream of lovers. But she moves fast with men and suspect that is why they move on fast. Now that Jed's back in her life, she's taking no chances. Despite the attraction ripping through her seams, she holds back, knowing that she wouldn't recover from being loved and left by him a second time. A constant traveler, Jed has only felt at home once in his life, with Dee. Now that he's found her again, he's determined to make up for lost time. He'll never leave her again, until an unexpectedly royal revelation threatens to strip Jed of his freedom and future, including his place at Dee's side. The next book that I downloaded was Caged in Winter by Brighton Wall. Walsh. This is the first in a series, is still currently free on Amazon, and is, oh, it doesn't say the number of pages. Oh well. Winter Jacobson has fought hard to escape the life she was born into. She's only 76 days away from her college graduation, the future she's dreamed of for so long. She just has to stick to her rules. Don't lose focus, trust no one, hookups only. She doesn't want or need a man ruining her plans. But then Cade Maxwell, aspiring chef and Prince Charming in training, comes swooping in to her life. All brash exterior and marshmallow center, Cade strips away her walls as easily as he strips away her clothes. One of the best in his class, he's on the fast track to his dream job, as long as he keeps his eye on the prize. This close to graduation, neither of them can afford a distraction. Despite their explosive chemistry, nothing serious can develop between them. Thankfully, Winter's rules are keeping them safe. Except Cade's not playing by her rules anymore. The next book that I downloaded in June is Veins of Magic by Emma Hamm. I talked about this in my June wrap-up. This is the second book in the Otherworld series. So I obviously bought this book when it was $2.99 because it is the second in the series, and I don't want to read the synopsis for it because it is the second book in a series. So if you want to know what the first book is about, go ahead and check out my June wrap-up where I talk about the first book. The next book that I downloaded was Smart Tass by Mimi J. Hamlinoff. This is the first in a series, is still free on Amazon, and is 236 pages. My name is Tass. I'm smart, I'm driven, and I am determined not to let prankster Hunter Johnson continue raining on my parade. When we were little, he'd pulled my hair and called me names. When we were teenagers, he'd throw food and tease me for being a flat-chested virgin. But now that we've ended up at the same college, he's out of his hot head if he thinks he can keep messing with my life. It's like he's fixated on me or something. Well, guess what, Mr. Amaze Football? I'm not that geeky little girl anymore, and you don't screw with a smart woman. So what's my plan? It's definitely wild, and he's about to find out. The next book that I downloaded in June was Liam by Kimber White. This is the first in a series, is still free on Amazon, and is 240 pages. For 2 generations, the wolf shifters of a mammoth forest have lived under the brutal, ruthless control of the Kentucky Chief Pack Alpha. They have been denied their freedom, their rightful packs, and their fated mates for far too long. Now, 5 brave men have forged a secret alliance hell-bent on resistance. Follow along as these shifters of Mammoth Forest fight to reclaim the women they love and the packs that they were born to lead. Liam. On a mission for critical medical supplies, Liam comes across curvy Spitfire Molly. His protective instincts kick into overdrive, but Molly's stronger than she looks, and she's fully capable of taking care of her own damn self. It takes about 2 seconds for Liam to figure out Molly's his fated mate. In another time, in another place, that would make things simple. Here in Kentucky, that makes her a weapon the Chief Pack can use against Liam and all the resistant fighters in Mammoth Forest. Molly. Molly Ravery's not the kind of girl who believes in love at first sight. But when Liam McConnell walks into her life, all rippling muscles and eyes blazing with mystery, she might just have to rethink that. He's hiding something but doesn't keep her from being drawn to him. When he reveals his true shifter self, Molly knows that she should head for the hills. Except his nature calls to hers, and his truth opens a hidden magical world she's been living in all along. Instead of turning away like she knows she should, Molly finds herself all in. The next book that I downloaded was Love Surfaced by Michelle Lynn. This is still free on Amazon and is 293 pages. Tanner and I abide by the rules. We stayed on our designated sides of the relationship circle, ignoring swarming butterflies, brushing off skipped heartbeats, settling on the lingering stares. Here's the secret: a hand extended over that invisible line once, exponentially changing the equation. I was convinced that we could make our relationship work until Tanner broke the trust he amended in me from the age of 7. One deceit of mega proportions, and the relationship we built for that short month vanished. I swore never to speak to him again, and it's worked. Until now, 2 years later, when my brother's wedding places me face to face with the best man, Tanner McLean, leaving one equation to be solved. Can love surface twice? The next book that I downloaded in June was Bad Idea by Nicole French. It is still currently free on Amazon and is 364 pages. Repeat after me. Stay away from the hot girl, the beautiful girl, the effing ray of sunshine in the middle of your delivery route. Layla Barros is everything I never knew I wanted, everything I'll never have. She's an innocent young student. I'm a convicted felon. She's a rich girl from a nice family. I've got nothing but a broken home. But if I'm an addict, she's my drug. I can't stay away, even though I know it'll ruin her in the end. The next book that I downloaded was The Trouble with Being Wicked by Emma Locke. This is the first in a series, is still free on Amazon, and is 439 pages. When Celeste Gray arrives in the sleepy village of BURKE on the bay, she thinks she's one step closer to leaving her notorious past behind. She even suspects the deliciously handsome, if what stuffy, Viscount next door is developing a tendra for her. That is until the day Ashlyn Lancaster learns she's not the unassuming spinster she's pretending to be. After a decade of proving he is nothing like his profligate father, Ash is horrified that he has given his heart to a Cyprian. He launches a campaign to prove his attraction is nothing more than a scored reaction he can't control, but he soon learns that unlike his father, he can't find comfort in the arms of just any woman. He needs Celeste. When he takes her as his mistress, he's still not satisfied, and the many late nights in her arms only makes him want more. The next book that I downloaded was Love Rewritten by J. Simon. This is unfortunately not free anymore. It is free for Kindle Unlimited, but it is only 99 cents if you want to buy it. It is also only 310 pages. Amy Schofield's love life has been all sorts of wrong. So when lacrosse star Brandon Kessler comes along with his all-American good looks, easy disposition, and magnetic charm, things seem to be looking up, even if they come from two totally different worlds. Xander Novrak is the gorgeous, volatile, and oftentimes mean best friend of Abby's twin brother Aubrey. Her relationship with him is strained at best, but when Xander moves in unexpectedly, things seem to shift between them. But in what direction? One night of deception, lies, and heartbreak are a common link the three share. When the truth about that night comes out, none of their lives will ever be the same. Will Abby be able to find the love she's been searching for, or will everything in her world fall apart? The next book that I downloaded was Determined Prince by Michelle M. Pillow. This is the first in a series, is still currently free on Amazon, and is 150 pages. Dragon shifter Prince Chiron has studied Earth people and is ready to assimilate. Female shifters are all but going extinct on his planet Quarksalin, and his people are desperate for mates. So much so that they're taking matters into their own hands. What better place to find women than Earth? After all, dragon shifters have come from there centuries ago. Surely a human female would be honored to be selected by one as fine and fierce as himself. While on Earth, Chiron stumbles upon the most beautiful woman he's ever imagined. Singing something the natives call rock and roll, his blood simmers and he knows Eve is the one for him. But taming his feisty females is going to take much more than his training prepared him for. The next book that I downloaded was Taken by the Beast by Connor Kressley and Rebecca Hamilton. This is the first in a series, is 292 pages, and unfortunately is not free anymore, but it is $2.99. When Charisse Ballamy takes the job at New Haven's first ever nightclub, it's only intended as a short-term solution to make ends meet. But she soon discovers there is no resisting the pull of her new boss, Abram. Despite worrying how her feelings for Abram will impact her budding relationship with police deputy Dalton, she can't seem to stay away. And it's not until a missing girl is found chained up in Abram's home that this beauty realizes one of her romantic interests is a beast. The next book that I downloaded was Mr. Control by Maya Hughes. This is the first in a series, is 238 pages, and unfortunately is not free anymore. It is free if you have Kindle Unlimited, but if you do not, it is $3.99. They say that being a billionaire has its perks, but I hardly notice. After being widowed, my beautiful little girl is the most important thing to me. Esme hasn't spoken to anyone but me since her mother's death. When she goes missing, I'm this close to losing it. When Esme turns up safe and sound with a cute waitress, I'm ready to give the lady a reward and be on our way. But then Esme speaks to her, a simple thank you for my daughter who hasn't spoken to anyone in years. I know I can't let the waitress get away. It has nothing to do with the face that she can melt me with a glance. Nothing at all. Melanie is nothing like the women who throw themselves at me. Her big brown eyes take my breath away from the minute I lay eyes on her. She fills out her pink waitress uniform with curves I can't wait to get my hands on. I can't get her out of my head. Melanie's bringing my little girl out of her shell, which means she's strictly off limits. But having her under my roof and close enough to touch is too much of a temptation. My legendary control is beginning to slip, and I don't know how much longer I can resist breaking every rule I have. I've sworn off romance because I know the stakes are far too high for me if anyone uncovers the secrets I've been keeping. Letting anyone in could destroy my world, but it's harder to keep my distance every day I'm near near her. The next book that I downloaded was Jackson by Elisa Woods. This is still currently free on Amazon and is 257 pages. 3 brothers, 3 secrets. One hope to save the shifters of Seattle. Former SEAL Jackson River would give his life for his brothers and his pack, but if he doesn't claim a mate soon, he'll be forced to step down as their alpha. There's only one problem. Jackson's dark secret would kill any mate he claimed. With someone kidnapping shifters off the streets, and only Jackson and his brothers Jason and Jared to stop them, now is not the time for a secret to come out. Curvy Olivia Lilyfield is a half-witch orphan with a dark secret of her own. She wants to atone for it by doing good in the world. So when she finds a wolf being tortured in an alley, she doesn't hesitate to help, even though the wolves and witches mix like matches and TNT. Olivia's dangerous magic means that she can't let anyone get too close, but Jackson can't keep his hands off her, and his kisses are more than she can resist. As they race to save the disappearing shifters of Seattle, the true danger lies in loving each other. They're playing with magical fire, and their secrets could end up destroying them both. The next book that I downloaded in June was The Acclaimed Queen by EMJ. This is the first in a series, is 174 pages, and is not free on Amazon anymore, but it is free if you have Kindle Unlimited, and is only $2.99. She is a woman who never knew love. Over 100 years ago, 2 billion humans lost their lives to the Iranians during the Purge War. If not for the Gelders, all of us would have been wiped out. All we had to do now was allow our woman to be claimed every year. A small price to pay to avoid extinction. But for 20 years, none of us have been claimed. I was born 20 years ago on claiming day. Now I find myself going through my first claiming as I have come of age today. But I can't shake the feeling that something is going to happen. Something is changing. He was a warrior who never knew gentleness. For 20 years, Danian the Warrior King has waited for his mate to be of age so he could claim her. For 20 years, he has fought the mate bond madness. For 20 years, he has waited. He is done waiting now. He will claim his mate. He will make her his. He will make her his claimed queen. Okay, so the last book that I downloaded is kind of weird. I think the old name of the book was Show Me Yours, and now the new name of it is called Bare Ass in Love. It's the first in a series, is still currently free on Amazon, and is 201 pages. The woman's killing me. I'm not the kind of man who would normally even consider blurring the lines between landlord and tenant or boss and employee, but summer is a walking temptation. Neurotic and obsessive when it comes to work details, sure, but a damn cute temptation nonetheless. She's been a good tenant and an even better worker, plus she doesn't simper or throw herself at me like a lot of women who find out my net worth. I've grown fond of her, oddly enough, but if she drags me out of bed in the middle of the night to talk to me one more time. Not only did Jason hire me for the greatest project I've ever run point on, but he also let me move into an amazing loft in his building as an extravagant job relocation perk. Sure, he can be a grouch when I accidentally wake him up to go over the project, but he's still a saint nevertheless. He's been a frantic boss and a surprisingly productive landlord, but when did his shoulders get so wide? And why is that growling voice of his making me all weak in the knees lately? Also, is it even considered morning wood if it happens in the middle of the night, or something more? There you have it. Those were all 18 books that I downloaded in June. Yeah, it was a lot. I'm sorry if this video was long. So let me know down below if you are considering downloading any of these books, or if you have already read any of them, because I would love to start up a conversation with you about them. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see y'all soon with a new video. Bye.